Hello everybody, welcome to Boxing Science. This video is sponsored by Saga Fitness. Saga Fitness specialist in BFR training. If you want to get your hands on the BFR cuffs with 10% discount, check out the link below and use the discount code Boxing Science. Today, in this Ask Boxing Science, we're going to answer a question that we receive quite commonly across social media. Is skipping a useful exercise for boxing? It seems quite an obvious answer because skipping is a foundational exercise in a boxing gym, a very traditional exercise. You've seen crazy skipping routines from Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, all the way through to people like Lomachenko now that still use this traditional training method. And with us being quite new school with some of our training methods, people think that we're opposing some old school training methods. In fact, we're quite supportive of skipping as a useful tool for boxing performance, and here are a few reasons why. Skipping is a form of extensive plyometrics. There's two different ways that we can target plyometrics. It's either intensive or extensive. Intensive is where you are challenging an athlete with high amounts of force. So this can be from high pogo jumps or depth jumps or hurdle hops or something like that. With our athletes, they can't really be exposed to that too often across the week. And also, they need to develop a sound foundation of plyometric ability to then be exposed to them kind of high forces, them intensive plyometrics. So we perform plyometrics 2 or 3 times a week as part of the strength and conditioning program, but we want to expose our athletes to plyometrics more or less every session because it's really vital for speed, for coordination, and for offensive and defensive movements. So we use extensive plyometrics. Extensive is where you're performing suboptimal low ground contact times, and this is what we're going to be performing over when we're doing skipping. If we're doing it for rounds of a minute or 3 minutes, we're performing a lot of very short ground contact times, which is classed as plyometrics, and this is going to be able to create the tendon stiffness which is needed to be efficient through the tendon and through the joints. Less efficient that we are, the more that we'll start using the calf muscles, and the calf muscle will then become fatigued. This is also important for running as well as boxing as well. Tendon stiffness is also used for speed and for footwork. If you think about offensive and defensive movements, when we're bouncing on our toes and we're feinting with our feet or getting into range or out of range, needing the ankle joint to be stiff and efficient to be able to create them fast, sharp, explosive movements. So this is the reason why that skipping is really important. And also single leg plyometrics. You might have seen a few of our posts on Instagram around single leg plyometrics and why it might be quite difficult to perform with boxers, because they are not exposed to plyometrics until like a later age when they're in the strength and conditioning sessions. They will struggle with the contact times during single leg plyometrics. As long as you're not doing like double under and double contact skipping, you're often just going from side to side, performing these suboptimal extensive plyometrics, working on single leg kind of tendon stiffness. So this is really important. So that's one of the main reasons why we encourage athletes to perform skipping. Another one is rhythm and relaxation. If you think about doing skipping, if you're really, really tense, you'll start getting fatigued in the arms. And also, if you're really tense, you won't be able to perform skipping at the ideal speed and the ideal intensity. A lot of people also ask me across social media how to improve shoulder endurance for the arms, because they feel that they end up getting really fatigued in the shoulder muscles. And also, I always say, it's all about strength, it's all about mobility. If you're really tight in here, you'll start overcompensating through the shoulder. But a lot of it is down to being nice and relaxed. If you're going in and being really stiff, your shoulder muscles are going to become quite fatigued. But if you're nice and relaxed and get into rhythm, and then you won't be fatiguing as much. It's training that ability in a very general sense to be in a good rhythm and to be relaxed as well. Because if you tense up whilst you're skipping, you're not going to do too well. So it's encouraging our athletes to get into rhythm and get relaxed before going into their boxing. Coordination and motor learning, especially for younger athletes, this is really important. If a lot of boxers are like put into early specialisation quite early on, because boxing is such a high demand for fitness, skill and technique. You see a lot of young athletes prioritising boxing over doing a lot of different other sports. So they're in a boxing gym all the time, and in this stance, drilling the jab, drilling the straight shots, drilling head movement and stuff like that. They're not exposed to many other different motor skills. And it's important to try and keep skipping in there, because it's a great motor learning skill, hand-eye, foot-eye coordination, and you can do some great drills with this, crossing the legs, tucking up the knees, changing hand position and everything like that. So coordination and motor learning is massive benefit of skipping for boxing. Then the last one, and probably the main one reason why we use it, is to raise heart rate. It's a great tool to help elevate heart rate during a warm-up. A normal kind of raised heart rate would be to go out running or something like that, or get on an exercise bike. But when you're in a confined space, a boxing gym, let's say it's a busy boxing gym as well, when you've got 10, 20, 30 boxers all training within the same session, time and space management is vital for a coach. So to do skipping is something that you can do on the spot to help elevate the heart rate. It's also very useful to use as part of circuits. So we've used it in a very popular post that we've actually put on Instagram, is a circuit that we're doing with Jordan Gill and Lerone Richards, where we're using skipping as a preloading exercise before they go into the circuits. Because boxers are so physically fit, cardiovascular wise, it's very hard for them to get up into the red zone, that's 90% of the maximum heart rate, during doing like some circuit activity. So we perform like a preloading set, something like 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds recovery before going into their normal circuit. A great preloading exercise would be something like shadow boxing, running on the spot, cycling, something like that. But another great tool is using skipping. So doing some high knee skipping would be great to use as part of a warm up, part of a preloading exercise for a circuit, to elevate the heart rate, get up towards 90% maximum heart rate, so then you're performing the rest of the circuit at 90% maximum heart rate and optimizing the adaptations from that session. How we'd use skipping is probably doing 1 to 2 rounds of 3 minutes before a workout. A limitation of skipping, once you become quite proficient at it, whilst you start doing some more plyometrics, is that it is done at a very low intensity. So to be able to overload that stretch shortening cycle, it'll be quite difficult just in general skipping. So potentially start mixing in some double under skipping, doing some high knees, something like that, to challenge that stretch shortening cycle a little bit more. So increasing the intensity of movements, whether, like I said, whether it's a tuck jump or a pike, a double under skip, or creating high knees, something to increase that intensity, to increase the demand in the stretch shortening cycle, using it as part of circuits as a preloader as well. Okay, so that's our roundup skipping for boxing. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you gained some value out of it. If you want to see more about skipping for boxing, please leave a comment in the comment box below, let us know, and we could put up some skipping drills for you to learn and start implementing into your gym. And if you're not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well if you like the video. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully see you on the next video.